All right, so today we're going to be reading the text called titled "Identifying Constellations" by Alan James. All right, take a look at the title and the images. All right, what do you think the text is going to be mostly about today?
I'm trying to identify constellations so we can understand like the names of those types of constellations and all that.
Okay, what do you think?
I think what we talking about, like, based on like the pictures, I see like the east, the sky, and like maybe something like made from the sky, or like talking about like stars, maybe.
Okay.
Like the night sky.
All right, so stars in the night sky. So we're going to take a look at some vocabulary words like constellation. What do you think the word constellation means without reading the text yet?
I think probably what's all about like type of stars, maybe.
Constellation
Talking
has
about
the sky and the stars, okay? What do you think?
I think it's about like maybe what?
Constellation, what do you think the word means?
I think it's about like photos like in the sky driven by stars.
Okay, good job. So constellations are groups of stars in the sky that form shapes or people. People long ago connected the stars to telling stories. All right, what about Ursa Major? See, that's the main term right there. What do you think that means based on the picture?
It's a type of cat.
Okay, so is the Ursa Major a type of constellation, do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ursa Major is a famous constellation that looks like a bear. Orion, what do you think that is? Look at the other picture.
Maybe like a warrior.
Like a warrior?
Actually, I think it looks like someone holding like a type of animal.
So like a hunter.
A skunk, but it looks like it doesn't have a sword. Look, a club.
This is a sword.
It looks like that was a club.
All right, so Orion is a constellation that looks like a hunter. All right, so today our focus for reading this passage is going to be to identify main idea and supporting details. Who remember what main idea is?
Like what's the story is mainly about.
Okay, what the story is mainly about. And what about you? Supporting details. How will I find those? What should I be looking for?
Just reading the passage really carefully. Slow down if you see words that you don't know, not be a word that's important.
All right, so supporting details, they give more information about the main idea. All right, so that's what we're looking for. All right, we're gonna begin. I'm gonna do paragraph by paragraph. So number one, paragraph one. For thousands of years, people have come up with ways of identifying and keeping track of the stars in the night sky. One way that ancient cultures made sense of the stars was by grouping them into recognizable shapes. Sometimes these shapes were based on elements of everyday life, animals such as birds or bears, people such as hunters, and so on. Other times the shapes took the form of mythic heroes and monsters. These shapes, called constellations, helped ancient people make sense of the sky. They also gave rise to some amazing stories. All right, so why do you think ancient people try to make sense of the night sky by trying to identify these different shapes in the sky? Because when I look up, I can't even recognize a shape. Can you recognize a shape? Have you ever looked up at the night
Sometimes I
sky?
would look to the sky, maybe like make something, maybe just like.
So when you look up, have you ever seen a shape? Because for me, it's really hard for me to identify. Maybe I'm not used to it, but what about you? Have you ever seen like a distinctive shape, like any of these constellations when you look up? No. Okay, but do you think it's possible that these constellations still exist? Yeah. I think that people are so busy sometimes that we might not even make that connection with the sky. But I think people hardly look up. That's what it is. We so busy, we hardly look up. But I think it's a fascinating way that the ancient people try to make sense of their, environment in the sky. So it says in the text here, the final sentence is paragraph 1. They also give rise to amazing stories. What type of stories do you think that they told about the Orion? Can you just picture being back then not a lot of technology. Some ancient person is telling a story about the hunter that they saw in the sky. What type of stories do you think that they could come up with?
Like he would like
A warrior trying to fight to.
It might be a bear right there. A small one.
All right. So if you, let's pretend that you're an ancient villager. If you came out and you looked up and you saw an Orion, what could you say about the next coming days? If you were to make a prediction about what was coming in the next few days. Because if you believed in the sky to give you messages and to communicate basically, what type of message do you think that would communicate if you looked up and you saw this hunter in the sky?
That maybe that you might become a warrior in the future.
Okay, that could be a personal message that maybe you're going to be a warrior or a hunter in the future. What about you? What do you think?
In my opinion, maybe like a war might come, a lot of warrior like will come to like houses, maybe like to like fight your animals. Maybe
Okay.
because if it was
Or
like
steal your animals.
Okay. So you're saying that maybe it's like a sign that maybe your village might be attacked by hunters? Maybe it could be, or it could also be that you're going to be a great hunter, as you said, and also your prediction is a good one as well. So as I said, we weren't there in the ancient times, but there are different things. I could see how they made the connection between what they saw and what their everyday life
Or the animals
could happen.
will probably get a virus, and they'll have to kill the animals because of it.
Okay, that's probably a little bit way off, but it still shows that critical thinking. All right, so paragraph 1, the main idea. It introduces the concept of what?
constellation.
Constellations. Good job. And did it name the major ones that they wanted to talk about? Which constellation did it talk about? Did it talk about any specific one in paragraph 1? No, they didn't talk about the specific ones yet. So they're going to move on to paragraph 2 and 3, where they're going to talk about 2 specific ones. All right, so paragraph 1 was setting the stage of what a constellation is. So if you were to give a paragraph 1 a main idea, what would it be?
Like a name.
Like a title, a heading or subheading. What would it be?
Stars.
Types of stars. Did they talk about the types of stars here?
Actually, no.
Remember, the main idea is what the text is mostly about. So what was paragraph 1 mostly about? Constellation. It introduces that concept. So if I were to give it a title, I would just say constellations. All right, number paragraph 2, we're going to move on. One constellation that most people can identify is the Big Dipper. The Big Dipper is a constellation of 7 stars that look like a long handled cup or dipper for water. 3 stars form the handle and connect to the 4 stars that form the cup. The Big Dipper is part of the larger constellation called Ursa Major, or the Great Bear. The Big Dipper also points to Polaris, the North Star. So, paragraph 2, what's the main idea? What was it mostly
I
about?
thought about like the Big Dipper.
Okay, it was focusing on the constellation called the Big Dipper. All right, now, how many stars make up that Big Dipper?
7.
7 stars. All right, let's move on to paragraph 3. Another easy constellation to spot is Orion the Hunter. To see Orion, look for 3 stars that are close together in a slightly diagonal line. That's Orion's belt. Other stars above and below the belt form Orion's upper and lower
it before.
body. You've seen it before?
Yeah, when I was camping with my scouts.
Okay, well that should be interesting, right?
Yeah, because I remember seeing like 3 stars but going straight.
Diagonally.
Yeah, but I thought maybe I was looking at it in a
Differently.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think you gotta have quite an imagination, right, to find these shapes in the
or
sky.
animal, maybe, because it's going straight up.
Oh, okay. All right. So what was paragraph 3 mostly about? What was he talking about?
Talking about like the spot of Orion the Hunter.
The Orions.
It's like the 3 stars. That's how much it makes them.
Okay. So in this paragraph 3, it talked about one specific constellation. What was its name? In paragraph 3, what specific constellation did it talk about?
Orion.
The Orion.
I remember seeing like maybe like two stars close together, like to form the leg.
Okay. What else?
I think I could have saw like maybe like one star in the distance. I don't know.
All right. So, overall, we've looked at the paragraph 1. We figured out the main idea and supporting details, and paragraph 2 and 3. So, what was the main idea of this whole text?
Talking about like constellations, like talking about like the stars and like people used to use it like as like forms of like heroes and monsters. It helped to it make like some stories based on like paragraph 1. They said like these shapes called constellations help ancient people make sense of the sky. They also gave rise to some amazing stories.
Okay, good. So, what about you? What would be the main idea of this text for you overall?
Trying to understand constellations and understanding like what they mean and all that. What they're supposed to be shaped like. If it's not shaped like that, maybe you're misdoing it.
Okay, all right, good job.